The Alien franchise not only introduced one of the most terrifying cinematic monsters to the world, but also showcased the astonishing diversity of its forms. The nuance that even the most dedicated fans of the universe might not be aware of all the variations of this creature. Originally, the design of the xenomorph was inspired by H.R. Giger's lithograph Necronom 4. But over the years, xenomorphs have changed, evolved, and their forms have become increasingly diverse. In this video, we'll discuss all 30 types of xenomorphs that have appeared in movies, comics, and games. Ovomorph. The first stage of the xenomorph life cycle is the egg, or ovomorph. First shown in Alien, the crew of the Nostromo, exploring a mysterious signal, discovers a vast field of strange organic capsules. Each egg is a living organism, protecting the facehugger larva inside. As soon as someone approaches, the top of the ovomorph opens, and the creature inside swiftly attacks the unsuspecting victim. This scene is repeated in almost all the franchise's films except Prometheus. Without the eggs, the entire life cycle of the xenomorph would be impossible, making them a key element for the species' survival. Facehugger. Literally grabbing its victim, the facehugger attaches itself to the face and initiates the next stage of the cycle. This creature, resembling something between a spider and a crab, hatches from the egg and rapidly attacks its victim. Its goal is to implant an embryo in the host, after which the facehugger soon dies, having fulfilled its function. These creatures demonstrate amazing agility and purposefulness. They can pursue a victim, instantly closing the distance thanks to sharp jumps. Facehuggers select not only humans but also other beings, including animals, predators, and space jockeys as hosts, leading to the creation of hybrid xenomorph forms. Royal Facehugger. This rare variety of the membranous facehugger first appeared in the director's cut of Alien 3. The Royal Facehugger is larger than standard, has thick armor, and performs a special mission, implanting the queen xenomorph embryo. Such special specialization makes it a key link in preserving and expanding the population. The unique threat of this creature lies not only in its sturdy defense, but also in the capabilities of its offspring. The original idea for Alien 3 suggested that the Royal Facehugger would be responsible for infecting Ellen Ripley. Chestburster. One of the most memorable moments in film history was the appearance of the chestburster in Alien. This stage, where the xenomorph embryo bursts out of the host's body, destroying the ribcage. The horrifying episode with Kane was the first demonstration of this phenomenon, shocking audiences in 1979. The chestburster is relatively vulnerable, but its speed and survival instincts allow it to escape from threats. This stage of the xenomorph life cycle was shown in all parts of the franchise, and each time the hatching moment becomes one of the most emotionally charged episodes. Bloodburster. After Prometheus without xenomorphs, Ridley Scott returned to the franchise to its roots in Alien Covenant, introducing the Bloodburster, a new form of hatching xenomorph. Unlike the chestburster, the Bloodburster appears after infection by microscopic particles from egg sacs. The hatching process is also somewhat different. The creature pierces the carrier with multiple needles and bursts out. This makes the infection process less noticeable but much more effective. Bloodbursters resemble runners with their slender bodies, pale white skin, and aggressive behavior. They develop incredibly quickly, and their lethal instincts make them particularly dangerous from the moment of birth. Drone. The drone is a young adult stage of the xenomorph, first introduced in the original Alien. This form is most often associated with the franchise, representing the standard type that comes to mind when mentioning xenomorphs. It was the drone that pursued the crew of the Nostromo, killing everyone except Ellen Ripley, and became the face of the entire franchise, including canonical video games like Alien Isolation. The trademark semi-transparent top part of the head with empty eye sockets makes the drone even more eerie. Its physiology includes bipedal walking, inherited from human carriers, an elongated head, and a cylindrical skull. The drone reaches a height of about 2.5 meters. This variety of xenomorphs demonstrates a characteristic feature of the species, a second mouth inside the main one, used for attacking. James Cameron's sequel, Aliens, introduced audiences to the Warriors, xenomorphs adapted for mass attacks. Unlike the solitary drone from the first film, these creatures operate collectively, making them even more lethal. Externally, warriors are characterized by a ridged skull, increased speed and agility. These creatures are the backbone of the hives and serve as protectors of the queen. In the film, they demonstrate impressive tactics, setting up ambushes that decimate colonial marines within minutes. Queen. The xenomorph queen first appeared in Aliens, becoming one of the most powerful and dangerous forms in the alien universe. Her height reaches 4.5 to 6 meters, and her primary role is the continuation of the species. The queen lays eggs, from which facehuggers are born, making her the center of survival for the entire species. Despite her size, the queen is incredibly agile and can detach from the egg sac to defend the hive. This intelligent and aggressive creature first demonstrated herself as a strategic leader in her confrontation with Ripley. In Alien vs. Predator, the queen is used for mass reproduction for the predator's hunt. Her intelligence and role in the hive hierarchy make her one of the most unique figures in the franchise. Runner. In Alien 3, we first see how the physiology of its host affects a xenomorph. The runner emerged after a facehugger infected a dog or a bull, depending on the version, original and release. This type features quadrupedal walking, a slender body, and the absence of dorsal tubes, giving it not only a unique appearance, but also tremendous speed. The runner exhibits exceptional aggressiveness. In the film, it relentlessly pursues inmates through the narrow corridors of the prison, displaying extraordinary agility. This design was a vivid example of xenomorph evolution depending on the host organism. Newborn. The newborn was the first hybrid in the Alien series. Introduced in Alien Resurrection, it results from a genetic experiment aboard the Auriga, where Ripley 8 was cloned to clone the queen. The newborn killed its mother, considering the cloned Ripley its parent. This form of xenomorph is closer to humanoid than the original design. Its face resembles a human skull, and the absence of an inner jaw makes its appearance even more bizarre. Despite its strength, the hybrid was disliked by both audiences and critics, and after its death in Alien Resurrection, it did not appear again in the series. Thank goodness for that. Trilobite. The trilobite first appears in Prometheus and demonstrates behavior similar to the facehuggers from the original franchise. It originates after Charlie Holloway is infected with the black goo and transmits it to Elizabeth Shaw. This creature, resembling a huge octopus, grows rapidly after emerging from the host and becomes an extremely dangerous predator. In the climax, the trilobite attacks the engineer, acting as a facehugger and infects him, creating the Deacon. This process hints at a close connection between the trilobite and classic xenomorphs, although direct explanations of its role in species evolution are not provided. Deacon. The Deacon, appearing at the end of Prometheus, represents a traditional link between the trilobite and classic xenomorphs. Its appearance resembles familiar aliens, but with important differences. It has an elongated, pointed skull and an inner jaw like traditional xenomorphs, but its biomechanical features are less pronounced. Human-sized at birth, the Deacon hints at the potential for further growth and evolution, since it appeared only once. Questions about its biology, behavior, and the possibility of acidic blood remain unanswered. Neomorph. Neomorphs are the result of the black goo, impacting the ecosystem of Planet 4, which we see in Alien Covenant. These creatures look like distant relatives of xenomorphs, but have distinctive features. Their white, translucent skin and humanoid form give them a unique, eerie appearance. Unlike xenomorphs, neomorphs lack an inner jaw, and their blood is not acidic. Instead, they use sharp teeth and a spiky tail for attacks. Their wild nature and relentless aggression make them no less deadly. Praedomorph. The praedomorphs, introduced in Alien Covenant, are closer to the classic xenomorphs from the original franchise. These creatures were engineered by the android David, who used engineering knowledge to create the perfect organism. Praedomorphs differ from their predecessors by lacking a biomechanical texture. They exhibit more rudimentary animalistic behavior, making them less calculating but much more aggressive in combat. Rapidly growing and incredibly strong, praedomorphs have inherited the characteristic translucent dome and inner jaw that has become a symbol of the species. Grid. Grid first appeared in the movie Alien vs. Predator, and stands out among other xenomorphs due to his unique appearance. This drone, born in the Yautja Pyramid, became the alpha among the xenomorphs discovered on Bouvet Island. He received his name from the characteristic marks on his skull and back, which were left after being attacked by the net of Celtic, a young predator. The nets, intended to strangle opponents, embedded into Grid's skin, but his acidic blood dissolved them, allowing him to survive. Grid stands out not only for his scars, but also for his storyline, where he confronts a predator named Scar. Predalien. Predalien is the result of a predator being infected by a facehugger, shown in Alien vs. Predator: Requiem. The hybrid combines features of both species. It has the jaws and dreads of a predator, but retains the main characteristics of a xenomorph, including acidic blood and an inner jaw. Xenomorph-predator hybrids had previously appeared in comics and video games, but their debut in films was one of the most memorable moments of Requiem, despite the film's harsh criticism. Tarkatan Xenomorph. This xenomorph appeared in the game Mortal Kombat 10 as a result of infecting the Tarkatan warrior Baraka. It was added as part of a DLC and combines elements of both races: a bulky body, sharp teeth, and retractable blades on the arms, like the Tarkatans. The Tarkatan xenomorph retained many features of the classic drone, but its physical power significantly increased due to the influence of Tarkatan DNA. Praetorian. Praetorians, which did not appear in films, are known as the Royal Guard of Xenomorphs. They can be encountered in video games such as Alien vs. Predator or Aliens: Fireteam Elite, where they serve as protectors of the Queen and the Hive. Praetorians are similar to warriors but are larger and stronger. They are distinguished by a crest on their head, reminiscent of the Queen's, which the designers intended to emphasize their high status in the Hive. These creatures appear when the Hive population reaches 300 individuals and become not only protectors, but also commanders in the xenomorph armies. Matriarch. The Matriarch is the oldest queen of xenomorphs. Her age and battle scars speak of many conflicts. The Matriarch was initially held by the Yautja to lay eggs for their hunts. Then, Weyland-Yutani Corporation captured her for their experiments. Her ancient skin proved it to be bulletproof, and her incredible resilience allowed her to escape, establish her own hive, and continue the fight for the survival of her species. Spitter Alien. The Spitter from Aliens, Colonial Marines, and Aliens: Fireteam Elite stands out for its ability to spit acid at enemies. These xenomorphs possess a head crest similar to the Deacon and acidic pouches that enable their ranged attack. Some spitters were exposed to toxic chemicals, becoming larger and stronger, and their acidic saliva became more destructive. Crusher Alien. The Crusher, introduced in Aliens, Colonial Marines, and Aliens: Fireteam Elite, is one of the most powerful and protected forms of xenomorphs. Thanks to sturdy armor on the head crest, which is bulletproof, it can withstand heavy weapons and even collide with armored vehicles. This form attacks its enemies like a battering ram, charging on all fours, making it similar to the Runner from Alien 3. Some theories suggest that the Crusher develops from larger animal hosts, such as bulls, due to its size and strength. Despite its power and importance to the Hive, it acts only as muscle, and is inferior in intelligence to other types. Prowler Alien. The Prowler, also known as the Jumper, appeared in Aliens: Fireteam Elite and is distinguished by its agility. The Stalker has unique red skin and a bladed tail, which it uses in an attack, similar to a scorpion. Its ribbed crest and lack of dorsal tubes set it apart from other xenomorphs. Although physically weaker than other types, it is known for being able to hold a victim while other xenomorphs deliver the final blow. Necromorph. The Necromorph, introduced in the novel Alien Prototype 2019, was the result of experiments by Dr. Gagno, who aimed to create a new species. However, necrosis in the host's body caused the Necromorph to become covered in blisters and ulcers, which emitted a virus infecting victims. The Necromorph operates alone, hunting the team of the Jericho 3 research complex. Its grotesque and painful appearance makes it one of the most grotesque xenomorph variants, while its biological mission to spread infection underscores the threat. The space jockey xenomorph first appeared in the comic Aliens: Apocalypse, and was inspired by the space jockey shown in the original Alien movie. It is presumed to have originated from an infected engineer, explaining its enormous size and strength. Unlike standard xenomorphs, this version is significantly larger and has a trunk reminiscent of an elephant's, emphasizing its connection to the space jockey. Despite its intriguing design, the character was excluded from the canon after the release of Prometheus. Black Goo Xenomorph. The novel Aliens the Infiltrator, 2021, explores the consequences of the black goo on xenomorphs. One of the results is the 7th xenomorph, which became an albino with telepathic abilities. It could control other individuals, demonstrating incredible intelligence. The 7th also has translucent skin, reminiscent of the original concept of xenomorphs in Ridley Scott's film. Anchor Point Hybrid Xenomorph. This variant first appeared in the unused script for Alien 3 written by William Gibson, and was later adapted into omnibus comics. The new hybrid reproduces through spores that infect those around it, making it particularly dangerous. The hybrid features a humanoid face with a nose and eyes similar to the newborn from Alien Resurrection. However, its strength is inferior to regular xenomorphs, highlighting the instability of the experimental form. Aquatic Xenomorph. Aquatic xenomorphs, also known as swimmers, first appeared in the Aliens, Colonial Marines comic series. These creatures are fully adapted to underwater life, inhabiting the planet Bracken where large crustaceans could be their hosts. Aquatic xenomorphs are similar in size to Praetorians, but have a body featuring marine fauna traits. The lower part resembles a fish tail, and their skin is colored blue. Their natural habitat is the ocean depths, but they also attack on the water's surface, making them versatile hunters. Alpha. The Alpha Xenomorph was introduced in the comic Alien Bloodlines, and resulted from infecting a human and a Corcoran mountain goat, seen on the second slide. Its DNA combines features of both hosts, evident in bull-like horns and a body resembling a Praetorian. Alpha possesses extraordinary physical power and retains intelligence, allowing it to act strategically. Alpha's story culminates when it confronts its former host, Gabriel Cruz, ending in the death of both. Despite its rarity, this xenomorph stands out as one of the most memorable hybrids in the franchise. Irradiated. The irradiated xenomorph appeared in the comic Aliens Aftermath, displaying bioluminescence that makes it visible in the dark. While this deprives it of stealth abilities, it gains an advantage in the form of freezing effect. Its body, similar to liquid nitrogen, can instantly freeze anything it touches. This xenomorph is the sole survivor after the explosion of the atmospheric processor on LV-426, which caused its mutation due to radiation. Flying Xenomorph. Flying xenomorphs are only represented in comics and games, such as Alien Nightstrike and Alien Swarm. Their wings may be membranous like bats or insect-like, making them one of the most visually unique variations. Especially notable is the Flying Queen, whose massive wings and imposing size underscore her majesty and danger. Interestingly and logically, flying xenomorphs usually inhabit nests rather than hives. Genetically modified xenomorphs in Alien Romul. Besides The Offspring, the film Alien Romul features other variations, including drones and warriors created from genetic material synthesized from the Big Chap wreckage of the Nostromo. Big Chap is nearly an official name for the first xenomorph among fans. However, the behavior in the film suggests that the cloned individuals are not as intelligent as those from LV-426. The Offspring, embodiment of new horror. Alien Romul introduces one of the most frightening and aggressive types of xenomorphs into the canon. The film focuses on variations of drones and warriors created by Weyland-Yutani scientists at the Romul and Rem stations, using genetic material obtained from the wreckage of the Nostromo. However, the true horror is revealed in the finale when the Offspring is first shown to audiences. The Offspring is a hybrid of human and xenomorph. Unlike any previously encountered form, this creature reaches 3.5 meters in height, has a hard exoskeleton, and a razor-sharp tail. Visually, it represents a terrifying mix of a child and a monster. The Offspring embodies the main theme of Alien, the horror violating the boundaries of natural order and human nature. It highlights the consequences of genetic material manipulation and poses new questions about how far Weyland-Yutani Corporation will go in its experiments. And that's it from me. If you like this video, don't forget to rate it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. Your activity is the best reward for me. Thank you for watching, see you soon, bye.